The dumpster lid slams shut. Rowan Hale doesn't flinch. She's 23, bone-tired, and 3 months behind on rent. The alley behind Blackwater Tower smells like wet cardboard and old cooking oil. Her shift ended 40 minutes ago. Her feet ache. The fluorescent light above the service door flickers twice, then dies. She should have been home by now. The crying starts low, controlled, like someone learned early that making noise gets you hurt. Rowan stops walking. The sound comes from behind the industrial dumpsters, the ones the building management pretends don't exist. No cameras point this direction, no security patrols pass through. It's the kind of space cities create by accident, where things get thrown away and forgotten. She takes 3 steps toward the street. The crying stops. Hi, viewers. Kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. Rowan's hand tightens around her keys. She's undocumented. No social security number, no PAC registration. In a city like Chicago, that makes her invisible, which is the only reason she's still alive. Invisible women don't get involved. They don't ask questions. They survive by not being remembered. She turns back anyway. The largest dumpster sits against the brick wall, rust bleeding down its sides. Something moves in the gap between metal and concrete. Rowan crouches. Her knees crack. The smell hits her first. Copper and infection and something else. Expensive perfume. The child is maybe 5 years old. Dark brown skin. Curls matted to her forehead with sweat. Her eyes are half open, glassy with fever. She's wrapped in a coat that costs more than Rowan makes in 6 months. Black wool, designer label visible even in the dim light. The fabric is soaked through with blood. Rowan's breath catches. The scent rolls over her like a wave. Clean, sharp, unmistakable, alpha, pure blood, powerful. Every Omega in Chicago knows that scent. It belongs to Nyx Calder, the woman who runs the South Side without a pack council, without a mate, without apology. The alpha who makes judges resign and gang territories shift overnight. The woman whose name gets whispered in courtrooms and backrooms and hospital corridors. This is her daughter. Rowan's hands shake as she reaches forward. The child flinches, a trained response, automatic, then grabs Rowan's wrist with both hands. Her grip is weak but desperate. Her lips move without sound. Around the girl's wrist is a hospital band. Half burned. The edges melted like someone held a lighter to it. Rowan looks up. The alley is empty. No cars, no footsteps. The city noise feels distant, muffled. She checks the child's pulse, fast, thready. There's a shallow cut along her ribs, stitched badly with what looks like fishing line. The wound is infected. The fever is climbing. Someone didn't lose this child. Someone threw her away. Rowan pulls off her own jacket and wraps it around the girl. The child makes a small sound. Relief or fear, it's hard to tell. Rowan lifts her carefully. She weighs almost nothing. The coat falls open, and Rowan sees it clearly now. The designer label, the monogrammed lining, the bloodstains that aren't accidental. This wasn't a kidnapping gone wrong. This was intentional. Rowan stands. Her apartment is 6 blocks away. She has $63 in her bank account and a first aid kit she stole from the hotel supply closet 3 months ago. She knows what happens to people who get involved in syndicate business. She's seen the news reports, the closed casket funerals, the families who stop asking questions. The child's fingers curl tighter around her shirt. Rowan starts walking. The street is empty. The traffic lights cycle through their patterns, red, yellow, green, but no cars pass. She keeps her head down, stays in the shadows between streetlights. Her building has a broken side entrance that doesn't lock properly. She slips inside. The stairs creak. Her apartment is on the 4th floor. The hallway smells like mildew and someone's burned dinner. She unlocks her door with one hand, the child balanced against her hip. And inside, she locks the door, chains it, pushes her dresser against it for good measure. The child is unconscious now. Her breathing is shallow. Rowan lays her on the bed, the only bed, a twin mattress on the floor, and turns on the lamp. The light is harsh. It shows everything. The infection tracking up from the wound. The bruises on her arms shaped like adult fingers. The way her body curls inward even in sleep, protecting something that's already been taken. Rowan runs the tap until the water turns hot. She finds her first aid kit, scissors, gauze, the antibiotics she's been saving for herself. She cuts away the stitches. They're pulling the skin wrong, making it worse. Cleans the wound with soap and water. The child doesn't wake up, doesn't make a sound. Rowan works for 2 hours. When she's done, the fever has dropped 0.5 degree. Mum, the wound is clean. The child is wrapped in blankets Rowan stole from the hotel laundry. Her breathing evens out. Rowan sits on the floor and stares at the opposite wall. She just stole Nyx Calder's daughter. The city is going to burn. What would you do if you found the most dangerous woman's child thrown away like trash? Would you walk away or risk everything? The child wakes up screaming. Rowan moves fast, covers her mouth gently, whispers close to her ear. The girl thrashes once, twice, then goes still. Her eyes are wide, terrified. She's looking past Rowan at something that isn't there. "You're safe," Rowan says. She keeps her voice low, steady. "Nobody's here but me." The child's breathing slows. She blinks, focuses. Her eyes track across the room, taking in the peeling wallpaper, the cracked ceiling, and the single window covered with a bedsheet. Her gaze lands back on Rowan. She doesn't speak. Rowan pulls her hand away slowly. The girl doesn't scream again. She sits up, winces, touches the bandage on her ribs. Her fingers are small, careful, like she's checking to see if it's real. "Are you hungry?" Rowan asks. The girl nods once. Rowan stands. Her knees protest. She's been sitting on the floor all night. The apartment is one room with a kitchenette shoved into the corner. No stove, just a hot plate. No refrigerator, just a cooler with ice she buys every 3 days. She opens a can of soup. Chicken noodle. The cheap kind that's mostly broth. She pours it into a mug and heats it on the hot plate. The smell fills the room, salt and processed chicken flavor. The girl watches her, doesn't move, doesn't ask questions. When the soup is warm, Rowan brings it over. The girl takes it with both hands, drinks it slowly, like someone taught her not to waste food. "What's your name?" Rowan asks. The girl looks up. Her eyes are dark brown, almost black. She swallows. "Kadir," she whispers. Her voice is hoarse, barely used. "I'm Rowan." Kadir nods, drinks more soup. Her hands are shaking, but she doesn't spill any. When the mug is empty, she sets it down carefully. Looks at Rowan again. "Are you going to send me back?" The question is quiet. Matter of fact, like she's asked it before and already knows the answer. Rowan's chest tightens. "Back where?" "To Uncle Virex." The name lands like a stone. Rowan knows that name. Everyone in Chicago knows that name. Nyx Calder, Nyx's half-brother, the man who handles the syndicate's money, the one who wears expensive suits and shakes hands with politicians and smiles while people disappear. "Did he hurt you?" Rowan asks. Kadir looks down at her hands. Doesn't answer. Rowan sits on the edge of the bed, keeps her distance. "You don't have to go back anywhere, not if you don't want to." Kadir's head snaps up. "Mama doesn't want me anymore." "Who told you that?" "Uncle Virex. He said she was tired of me, that I made her weak. He said—" Her voice cracks. She stops, swallows hard. "He said nobody would come looking." Rowan feels something cold slide down her spine. She's seen Nyx Calder on TV, in newspapers. The woman doesn't look like someone who gives up on anything, and she definitely doesn't look like someone whose daughter would end up in a dumpster behind a luxury high-rise. "Where's your mama now?" Rowan asks. Kadia shrugs. "Uncle Virek said she's busy, that she has important work." "Did she tell you that?" "No." The word is small, final. Rowan stands, walks to the window, pulls the bedsheet aside just enough to see the street below. Empty, for now. But it won't stay that way. People like Nyx Calder don't lose their children without consequences. She lets the sheet fall back. "You need rest," Rowan says. "Your fever's still too high." Kadia lies back down, curls up on her side. Her eyes stay open. "Can you stay?" she asks. "Just until I fall asleep." Rowan sits on the floor again, leans against the wall. "Yeah, I can stay." Kadia's breathing slows, evens out, her eyes close. Rowan watches her. This child, this alpha child, is trusting her, calling her safe. And Rowan has no idea how to keep her alive. She pulls out her phone. It's old. Cracked screen. Pay-as-you-go plan. She opens the browser and types, "Nyx Calder daughter missing." The results load slowly. The first headline makes her stomach drop. Syndicate Iris vanished. Citywide search enters day 3. Day 3. The child's been missing for 3 days. Rowan scrolls through the article. No photos of Kadia. No description. Just vague statements about an ongoing investigation and increased security presence. The article quotes anonymous sources saying Nyx Calder has gone silent, stopped taking meetings, disappeared from public view. Rowan closes the browser. She looks at Kadia, the rise and fall of her chest, the way her fingers curl around the edge of the blanket, even in sleep. This child is bait. Someone wanted her gone. Someone with access to Nyx Calder's home. Someone who could burn a hospital band and stitch a wound badly on purpose. Someone who knew exactly where to throw her away so she wouldn't be found. Or, if she was found, nobody would care enough to report it. Rowan's phone buzzes. She jumps. The notification is from her building manager. Rent due today. Pay by 5 p.m. or vacate. She has $63. Rent is $800. She looks at Kadia again, sleeping, trusting, safe for the first time in days. Rowan's made a lot of bad decisions in her life. Walking away from her pack when she was 16, staying undocumented instead of registering, working under the table for less than minimum wage. But this, keeping this child, this is the decision that's going to get her killed. Kadia shifts in her sleep, whispers something too quiet to hear. Her hand reaches out, searching for something. Someone. Rowan moves closer. The child's fingers find her wrist. Hold on. And then, so soft, Rowan almost misses it. Mama. Rowan freezes. The child thinks she's her mother. She should correct her. Explain. Draw that line clearly before it becomes something neither of them can take back. But Kadia's grip tightens, and Rowan doesn't say a word. If a child called you mama, knowing it was a lie, would you correct them? Or would you let them believe they were finally safe? The soup runs out on day 2. Rowan skips work. Her phone rings 4 times, her supervisor angry, threatening to fire her. She doesn't answer. She can't leave Kadia alone, can't risk someone knocking on the door while she's gone. The fever breaks on day 3. Kadia wakes up clearer, asks for water, drinks it slowly, sits up without wincing. Like the infection is responding to the antibiotics. The wound is closing. She's still too thin, still too quiet, but she's alive. Rowan makes rice. It's all she has left. She adds salt and a little butter she stole from the hotel breakfast bar last month. Kadia eats it without complaint. "Do you remember what happened?" Rowan asks. Kadia sets down her spoon, looks at her hands. "We were at the house, Mama's house. Uncle Virex came over. He brought presents, Toys. He said Mama had a meeting, and I should go with him. Did you want to go? Kadea shakes her head. But Mama said to be good. So I went. Then what? We drove. A long time. He stopped at a building. It smelled like medicine. There were people in white coats. They said they needed to check me. Make sure I was healthy. Uncle Virex smiled. He told me it wouldn't hurt. Rowan's jaw tightens. Did it hurt? Kadea touches the back of her ear. There's a small scar there. Rowan hadn't noticed it before. It's hidden under her hairline, barely visible. She leans closer. The scar is surgical, clean, recent. What did they put there? Rowan asks. I don't know. They said it was medicine, that it would help Mama find me if I got lost. Rowan's blood goes cold. A tracker. They put a tracker in this child's body. What happened after? She asks. Uncle Virex said we were going home. But we didn't. We drove to a different place. He told me to wait in the car. I fell asleep. When I woke up, I was in the alley. It was dark, cold. Nobody came. Kadea's voice doesn't shake. She's telling the story like it happened to someone else. Rowan reaches out slowly, touches Kadea's shoulder. You're not going back there, I promise. Kadea looks at her. Promises break. Not this one. The words come out more certain than Rowan feels. Kadea's face doesn't change. She's heard promises before. She knows how much they're worth. Rowan stands, walks to the window, pulls the sheet aside an inch. The street below is quiet, too quiet. No cars parked where they shouldn't be, no one standing on corners. But something feels wrong. A helicopter passes overhead, low, circling. Rowan drops the sheet. She grabs her phone, opens the news app. The headlines have changed. Blackwater Tower on lockdown. Syndicate search escalates. Nyx Calder offers reward for information. No questions asked. City officials warn residents, cooperate or face consequences. Rowan's hands shake. She scrolls through the articles. The whole South Side is under what they're calling enhanced security. That means checkpoints. ID checks, random searches. Anyone without documentation gets detained. She's undocumented. If they stop her, she's gone. And so is Kadea. What's wrong? Kadea asks. Rowan turns. The child is sitting up, watching her with those two old eyes. Nothing, Rowan lies. Just checking the weather. Kadea tilts her head. You're scared. I'm fine. You smell scared. Rowan freezes. She forgot. Alpha children can read scent. Even young ones. Even sick ones. I'm just worried about you, Rowan says carefully. You're still healing. Kadea slides off the bed, walks over. She's barefoot, wearing one of Rowan's t-shirts that hangs to her knees. She stops in front of Rowan, reaches up, touches her hand. Thank you, she says quietly, for not leaving me there. Rowan's throat closes. She crouches down, meets Kadea's eyes. You don't have to thank me. Yes, I do. Uncle Virex said nobody would help me. He said people like you, Omegas, only care about themselves. He said if anyone found me, they'd turn me in for money. Well, he was wrong. Kadea studies her face. Are you going to turn me in? No. Even for money? Even for money. Kadea's shoulders relax, just a fraction, like she's been carrying a weight and someone finally took it. Can I ask you something? She says. Anything. Why did you help me? Rowan doesn't have a good answer. She should have walked away, should have called the police, should have done anything except bring this child home and pretend she could protect her. But she didn't. And now they're both trapped. Because you needed help, Rowan says finally, and nobody else was there. Kadea nods slowly, like that makes sense to her. She wraps her arms around Rowan's neck, holds on tight. Her face presses against Rowan's shoulder. Rowan freezes, then wraps her arms around the child, holds her back. They stay like that for a long time. When Kadea pulls away, her eyes are wet. "I miss my mama," she whispers. "I know." "Do you think she's looking for me?" Rowan thinks about the headlines. The lockdown. The helicopters circling overhead. "Yes," she says. "I think she is." Kadea wipes her eyes. "Uncle Virex said she wasn't. He said she was glad I was gone. He lied." "How do you know?" "Because no alpha who loved their child would let them vanish without burning the city down to find them. Because Nyx Calder's reputation isn't built on weakness. Because the woman on TV, stone-faced, controlled, dangerous, doesn't look like someone who gave up on anything." But Rowan can't say that, so she says, "Because mamas don't stop looking, ever." Kadea considers this, nods, climbs back onto the bed. Rowan turns back to the window. The helicopter is gone, but the feeling isn't. Her phone buzzes. Another notification. Breaking. Syndicate announces press conference. Nyx Calder to speak publicly. Rowan clicks the link. The video loads slowly. The press conference is happening live, right now. The screen shows a podium, City Hall, cameras everywhere. And then Nyx Calder walks out. She's exactly like the photos. Tall, broad-shouldered, dark skin, hair pulled back tight. She's wearing a black suit, no tie. The jacket is open just enough to show a shoulder holster. She stands at the podium. It doesn't smile. Doesn't acknowledge the shouting reporters. When she speaks, the room goes silent. "My daughter is missing," Nyx says. Her voice is low, controlled, absolutely lethal. "She's 5 years old. Her name is Kadea. If anyone has information, call the number on your screen. If anyone is hiding her, return her now. No questions, no consequences." A pause. "If anyone has harmed her," another pause, longer. "I will find you, and when I do, you will beg for the police to find you first." The camera zooms in on her face. Her eyes are cold, empty. The kind of empty that comes from knowing exactly what you're capable of. "This is not a negotiation," Nyx continues. "This is a countdown. You have 72 hours. The press conference ends. Rowan's hands are shaking so hard she almost drops her phone. 72 hours, 3 days. But behind her, Kadea is playing with the edge of the blanket, humming something soft and tuneless. Rowan walks to the corner, opens the drawer where she keeps her emergency cash. $63. She counts it twice. It's not enough to run, not enough to hide, barely enough to eat. She looks at the tracker scar behind Kadea's ear. If that thing is active, they already know where she is. If it's not, if Virex disabled it before dumping her, then Rowan has time. Maybe. Outside sirens start, close, getting closer. Rowan moves to the window. 3 police cars turn onto her street. They stop in front of her building. Her stomach drops. The sirens cut off. Doors open. Officers step out. They're not wearing regular uniforms. They're wearing tactical gear. This isn't a welfare check. This is a raid. Kadea looks up. "What's happening?" Rowan doesn't answer. She's already moving, grabbing the blanket, wrapping Kadea in it, picking her up. "We have to go," she says, "right now." When the people hunting you knock on the door, do you run or do you hide? And what happens when there's nowhere left to go? The pounding starts before they reach the door. Rowan moves fast, pulls the dresser away from the door, grabs her backpack, shoves in whatever's closest. Kadea's wrapped tight in the blanket, silent against her chest. The pounding gets louder. "Police! Open up!" Rowan looks at the window. 4th floor. No fire escape. Just a straight drop to concrete. The pounding stops. Voices in the hallway. Radio chatter. Breach in 30 seconds. Rowan's mind races. The closet is too obvious. The bathroom has no windows. The bed is... the bed. She drops to her knees. and shoves the mattress aside. The floor underneath is old hardwood, uneven. There's a loose board near the corner. She noticed it months ago, meant to fix it, never did. She pries it up. The space underneath is small, barely big enough. She looks at Kadea. "I need you to hide. Can you do that?" Kadea nods. "Don't make a sound, no matter what happens. Understand?" Another nod. Rowan lifts her, lowers her into the gap. It's tight. Kadea has to curl up, knees to chest. Rowan replaces the board, slides the mattress back, throws the blankets on top. The door explodes inward. Rowan spins around, raises her hands. 5 officers flood the room, tactical gear, weapons drawn. They spread out fast, 1 to the window, 1 to the closet, 2 to the bathroom. The 5th stays on her. "On the ground! Now!" Rowan drops, face down, hands behind her head. They search the apartment. Fast, efficient, ripping open drawers, tearing through the closet, checking under the sink. 1 officer stops at the bed. Rowan's heart stops. He kicks the mattress. It shifts. He stares at it for 3 seconds, then moves on. "Clear," he says. The officer standing over Rowan grabs her arm, yanks her up, shoves her against the wall. "Where is she?" he demands. "Where's who?" "Don't play stupid. The Calder kid. Where are you hiding her?" "I don't know what you're talking about." He slams her against the wall harder. "Wrong answer." "I work at Blackwater Tower," Rowan says. Her voice is steady, calm. "Night shift. Housekeeping. I don't know anyone's kids." "You were seen in the alley 3 days ago, carrying something." Rowan's mind spins. The security cameras don't work. She checked. "Unless. I was carrying laundry," she says. "Hotel sheets. I take them home to wash. Extra money." "That so?" "Check my closet. You'll see them." The officer looks at his partner. The partner shrugs. They did check the closet. There are sheets there, stained, cheap hotel linens Rowan actually does wash for extra cash. The officer's grip loosens. Slightly. "You're undocumented," he says. It's not a question. "Yes." "That's deportation, you know that?" "Yes." He studies her face, looking for cracks, fear, guilt. Rowan keeps her expression blank. He lets her go, steps back. "If we find out you're lying," "I'm not. You'll wish we'd just deported you." He gestures to his team. They file out, boots heavy on the stairs. The door hangs crooked on broken hinges. Rowan doesn't move. She counts to 100, then 200, then 3. Finally she crosses to the bed, pulls back the mattress, lifts the board. Kadea is curled in the dark, eyes wide, silent. Rowan lifts her out, holds her tight. "You did so good," she whispers, "so good." Kadea doesn't speak, just buries her face in Rowan's shoulder. Rowan sits on the floor. Her hands are shaking, her heart is racing. They're not safe here, not anymore. But she has nowhere to go, no money, no contacts, no plan. Her phone buzzes. She pulls it out. Another news alert. Nyx Calder press conference. Countdown begins. The video autoplays. Nyx is standing at the podium again. But this time she's not alone. Standing behind her is a man. Tall, expensive suit. Handsome in that careful, practiced way. He's smiling, confident. The caption reads, "Nyx Calder, syndicate financier and brother to Nyx Calder." Rowan's blood turns to ice. Nyx steps forward, places a hand on Nyx's shoulder, leans into the microphone. "We're offering a reward," he says. His voice is smooth, warm, trustworthy. $1 million for any information leading to Kadea's safe return. No questions asked. The cameras flash. Reporters shout questions. Nyx keeps smiling. "We just want her home. That's all that matters." Rowan's hands clench. He's lying. He's standing there, next to Nyx, pretending to care, and he's the one who threw Kadea away. And nobody knows. Kadia shifts in her arms, looks up at the screen. That's Uncle Virex, she says quietly. I know. He looks nice. He's not. Kadia goes quiet again. On screen, the press conference ends. Nyx walks off. Virex stays behind, shaking hands, taking questions, playing the concerned uncle perfectly. Rowan turns off the phone. Now she needs to contact someone, tell them the truth. Expose Virex before he can bury this deeper. But who? The police work for the syndicate. The media is controlled. And if she goes public, she'll be arrested or worse, before anyone believes her. She's one undocumented Omega with a stolen child. Nobody will listen. Outside, the helicopters return. Louder this time, lower. Rowan stands, walks to the window. The whole block is lit up. Police vehicles on every corner. Officers going door to door. The lockdown is tightening. She can't stay here, but she can't leave either. Kadia tugs on her shirt. Are they going to find us? Rowan looks down. The child's face is calm. Too calm, like she's already accepted what's coming. No, Rowan says, they're not. How do you know? Because I won't let them. But Rowan doesn't say that. Instead, she says, because we're going to disappear. Kadia frowns. Where? Rowan doesn't have an answer. Her phone buzzes again. A new message, unknown number. She opens it. I know what you did. Contact me if you want to live. Syndicate protection available. Terms negotiable. A link follows. An encrypted chat address. Rowan stares at the screen. This could be help, or it could be a trap. Either way, staying here means getting caught. And getting caught means losing Kadia. She looks at the child, still watching her, still trusting her. Rowan makes her decision. She types, how do I know you're real? The response is immediate, because if I wasn't, you'd already be dead. Rowan's stomach twists. Another message appears. Send your location. A car will be there in 10 minutes. Don't miss it. 10 minutes. Rowan grabs her backpack, throws in clothes, and the first aid kit, whatever cash she has left, wraps Kadia in the blanket again. We're leaving, she says. Kadia doesn't argue. They take the back stairs, the side door, the alley where this all started. A black car is already waiting. Windows tinted, engine running. The back door opens. A man steps out, well-dressed, mid-40s. He smiles. Ms. Hale, he says, I'm here to help. Rowan doesn't move. Who are you? A friend of the family. Which family? His smile widens. The one that's looking for you. Kadia goes rigid. Rowan takes a step back. The man's smile doesn't change. There's nowhere to run, you know that. But if you come with me, I can protect you, both of you. Protect us from what? From her. He gestures toward Kadia. From what's coming. Rowan's grip tightens on the child. The man sighs. You don't understand. This isn't about kidnapping. This is about power. And you're standing in the middle of a war you can't win. Then I'll lose standing up. The man's expression hardens. That's not brave. That's stupid. He gestures. 2 more men step out of the car. Bigger. Armed. Rowan backs up. Her mind races. She can't fight, can't run, can't... Kadia pulls away from her, steps forward. Uncle Virex, she says quietly. The man's smile returns. Hello, sweetheart. When the monster looks like family, how do you convince a child to run? Virex crouches down, opens his arms. Kadia doesn't move. Come here, he says gently. I've been looking everywhere for you. Kadia stays next to Rowan. Her small hand grips Rowan's fingers. Virex's smile tightens. Kadia, don't be rude. Come say hello to your uncle. No, Kadia whispers. The word is so quiet, Rowan almost misses it. Virex's expression shifts. The warmth drains. What's left is something cold, reptilian. Excuse me, he says. I don't want to go with you. Virex stands, brushes off his pants. You don't have a choice, sweetheart. He nods to the men. They move forward. Rowan shoves Calder behind her. Touch her, and I scream. Virex laughs. Go ahead, nobody's coming. This whole block is syndicate-controlled. You think the police work for the city. They work for us. Then why bother with the car? Rowan asks. Why not just take her? Because appearances matter. Your neighbor saw us talking, saw you get in willingly, saw you smile. When they find your body later, it'll look like you tried to ransom the child and things went wrong. Tragic, but understandable. Rowan's blood runs cold. You're going to kill me, she says. Of course, you're a liability, but I'm not a monster. He smiles. I'll make it quick. The men grab Rowan's arms. She fights, kicks, twists, tries to pull away. One of them backhands her. Her vision explodes white. She tastes blood. Calder screams. The sound is raw, primal. Every window on the block should light up. Every door should open. Nothing happens. Virex picks Calder up. She fights him, scratching, biting. He doesn't flinch, just holds her away from his body like she's a wild animal. You had your chance to be good, he tells her calmly. Now you get to watch. He nods to the men. They drag Rowan to the car, shove her inside. The door slams, locks click. Calder is screaming, sobbing, begging. Virex sets her on the ground, grabs her face, forces her to look at him. This is what happens when you disobey, he says. Remember that. He climbs into the front seat. The driver starts the engine. Inside the car, Rowan is cuffed to the door handle. One of the men sits next to her. The other is in the front with Virex. Calder is between them, silent now, shaking. Where are we going? Rowan asks. Nobody answers. They drive for 20 minutes. The city gives way to industrial zones, empty warehouses, chain-link fences, places where nobody asks questions. The car stops. Virex gets out, opens the back door, pulls Calder out roughly. Take care of her, he tells the men. Make it look accidental. He walks away. Calder tries to follow. One of the men grabs her, holds her back. No! Calder screams. Let her go, please! Virex doesn't turn around. The men pull Rowan out of the car, march her toward a warehouse. As the door is rusted, broken. Inside, the space is massive, empty. The floor is stained concrete. This is where people disappear. One of the men shoves her to her knees. Any last words? He asks. Rowan looks up at him. Yeah, you're making a mistake. He laughs. How's that? Because when Nyx finds out you killed me, she's going to kill you. Nyx isn't going to find out. As far as she knows, you're just another Omega who tried to cash in on the reward and got greedy. And Calder? What's the story there? Traumatized, confused, needs time to recover. Uncle Virex will take good care of her. He grins. Until she's not useful anymore. Rowan's hands clench. You're sick. I'm practical. He raises his gun. Calder screams from outside. Rowan! Rowan! The man's finger tightens on the trigger. Rowan closes her eyes. The gunshot is deafening. But she doesn't feel anything. She opens her eyes. The man is staring down at his chest, at the blood spreading across his shirt. He drops the gun, falls to his knees, collapses. Behind him, Virex is standing in the doorway, holding a smoking gun. Change of plans, he says. The second man spins around. Virex shoots him too. Clean, efficient. 2 shots, 2 bodies. Rowan doesn't move. Virex walks over, kicks the gun away from the first man's body, looks down at Rowan. Here's what's going to happen, he says calmly. You're going to die here, but not yet. First, you're going to confess, on camera. You're going to say you kidnapped Calder, demanded ransom. When I refused, you threatened to kill her. My men tried to rescue her. You killed them. I had no choice but to defend my niece. Nobody will believe that, Rowan says. What, they will when they see the footage. when they hear your confession, when they find your body with the murder weapon in your hand. He crouches down, grabs her chin, forces her to look at him. "You should have walked away," he says. "But you didn't, so now you get to be the villain." He stands, pulls out his phone, opens the camera app. "Start talking," he says. Rowan stares at the lens, then she spits at his feet. Virex's expression doesn't change. He pockets the phone, pulls out his gun again. "Fine," he says. "We'll do this the hard way." He aims at her leg. Fires! Rowan screams. Pain explodes through her thigh. She collapses. Blood pools beneath her. "That's better," Virex says. "More authentic." He pulls out his phone again, starts recording. "Help!" he shouts into the camera. "She's armed! She's going to kill—" A voice cuts him off. "We drop the weapon." Virex freezes. Rowan turns her head. Her vision is blurring. Standing in the doorway is a woman, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing tactical gear, gun raised. Behind her are 20 more. Nyx Calder steps into the warehouse. Her eyes land on Virex, then on Rowan, then on the blood. Her expression doesn't change, but the air shifts. Every alpha in the room feels it. Nyx walks forward slowly, deliberately. Her weapon never wavers. "Put the gun down," she says quietly. Virex smiles. "Nyx, I can explain." "Explain later. Gun down. Now." He sets it on the ground, raises his hands, still smiling. "This isn't what it looks like," he says. "She kidnapped Kadir. I was trying to—" "Where is my daughter?" "Outside, in the car. She's safe. I saved her—" "From what?" Virex gestures at Rowan. "From her. This Omega stole Kadir. I held her hostage. I tracked them down. I was trying to rescue—" "You're lying." The words are flat, final. Virex's smile falters. "I'm telling you the truth." "Then why is there a bullet in her leg?" "She fought back. I had to defend." "With your gun? The one you're registered to carry? The one that will match the ballistics?" Virex goes quiet. Nyx steps closer. "Where's the tracker?" "What tracker?" "The one you put in my daughter's head." Virex's face goes blank. Nyx's expression finally shifts into something deadly. "I had the medical records pulled," she says. 3 days ago, an emergency appointment. You said Kadir needed a routine checkup. You took her yourself. The doctor signed off. Everything looked normal." She pauses. "Except you paid that doctor $2 million the next day." Virex's jaw tightens. "I had her scanned," Nyx continues. "Found the device, removed it, traced its registration. Want to guess whose name came up?" Silence. "You tried to take my daughter," Nyx says quietly. "You dumped her like garbage. You planned to let her die, and when someone saved her, you were going to kill them both." She lowers her weapon slightly. Just enough. "Give me one reason," she says, "why I shouldn't end you right here." Virex's smile returns. Desperate now, fraying. "Because I'm your brother," he says. "Because family." "You stopped being family the moment you touched my child." Nyx raises her weapon again. Virex's smile dies, and for the first time he looks scared. When power meets betrayal, who walks out alive and who's left bleeding? The handcuffs cut into Rowan's wrists. She's lying on a hospital gurney in a hallway that smells like disinfectant and old coffee. Fluorescent lights buzz overhead. Her leg throbs where Virex shot her, stitched now, bandaged, but the pain radiates through her whole body. Nobody's looked at her in 20 minutes. A nurse walks past, doesn't make eye contact. A doctor follows. Same thing. Rowan's file is clipped to the end of the gurney. She can read it upside down. Patient, Jane Doe. Status, undocumented. Psych eval, Omega delusional. Notes, attempted fraud/kidnapping. Hold for deportation. The words blur together. She tries to sit up. The cuffs rattle. A security guard glances over, young, bored, then looks away. This is how people disappear. Not violently, not dramatically, just quietly. Paperwork gets filed, systems move forward, and nobody asks questions. Rowan closes her eyes. Kadir is safe. That's what matters. Nyx has her daughter back. Virex is in custody. The story ended the way it was supposed to, except Rowan is still here, and nobody's coming for her. The guard's radio crackles. He steps away to answer it. His back is turned. Rowan's eyes open. She looks at the cuffs. Standard issue, locked to the gurney rail. The rail is bolted to the frame, but the frame is old. The bolts are loose. She can see the rust around the edges. She tests it. Gentle pressure. The rail shifts. The guard is still talking. Something about a shift change. Rowan pulls harder. The bolt creaks. She freezes. The guard doesn't turn around. She pulls again. Harder. The bolt gives. The rail comes free. She slides the cuffs off the end. Her hands are still bound, but she can move. The guard ends his call, turns back. Rowan is sitting up. Calm. Hands in her lap, hiding the loose rail. He walks past without looking. Rowan waits until he rounds the corner. Then she slides off the gurney. Her leg nearly gives out. She grabs the wall for support, limps toward the exit sign. The hallway is long, empty. Her hospital gown is open in the back. Her feet are bare. Every step sends pain shooting up her thigh. She passes a supply closet. The door is propped open. Inside, there are scrubs on a shelf. She grabs a pair, pulls them on over the gown. Finds shoes, 2 sizes too big, but they work. Voices echo from around the corner. Rowan ducks into a stairwell. The door closes behind her with a soft click. She stands in the concrete silence, breathing hard. Her reflection stares back from a small window. Bruised face, split lip, eyes that look too old. She takes the stairs down, 1 flight, 2, 3. Her leg screams. She ignores it. The ground floor exit leads to a loading dock. Empty, night shift. She slips outside. The air is cold. It cuts through the thin scrubs. Chicago sprawls ahead, lights and noise and a million places to hide. But Rowan doesn't run. She turns toward downtown, toward Blackwater Tower. Her phone is gone, her wallet is gone, everything she owns is gone. But she remembers the address. Everyone in the city knows that address. She walks for 2 hours. By the time she reaches the tower, the sun is starting to rise. The building is massive, glass and steel. Security at every entrance, cameras everywhere. Rowan stops across the street, stares up at it. She should leave, disappear, find a different city, a different life. But Kadir called her mama. Mart and Rowan promised she wouldn't leave. She crosses the street, walks up to the service entrance, the one employees use. The guard on duty looks up. "Help you?" he asks. "I'm here for a job," Rowan says. "Housekeeping, night shift." He checks his tablet. "You got an appointment?" "No, but I heard you were hiring." "We're always hiring." He gestures inside. "Talk to HR, 3rd floor." Rowan walks in. The lobby is pristine. Marble floors, crystal chandeliers. Everything screams money and power. She takes the service elevator. 3rd floor. The HR office is tucked in the back. A woman sits at the desk. Mid-50s, tired eyes. "I need a job," Rowan says. The woman doesn't look up. "Fill out the form. Bring back 2 forms of ID. I will process it in 3 to 5 business days." "I don't have 3 days." "Then you don't have a job." Rowan leans forward. "I'll work tonight. Cash. No paperwork. You need someone. I'm here." The woman finally looks up, studies Rowan's face, the bruises, the desperation. "Undocumented?" she asks. "Yes." "Criminal record?" "No." The woman sighs, pulls out a different form. "Minimum wage, cash only. You don't exist on our books. If immigration comes, you were never here. Understand?" "Yes." "Uniform is in the back." Shift starts at 8. Don't be late. Rowan takes the form, signs it. The name she writes isn't hers. When you have nothing left to lose, how far will you go to keep a promise? The maid's uniform is grey, shapeless, a name tag that says trainee. Rowan pins it on and blends into the background. Nobody notices her. That's the point. Maids are invisible. They move through spaces where powerful people talk freely because powerful people forget they're human. Her first shift is the executive floors, 60 through 70. She pushes a cleaning cart down carpeted hallways, empties trash, wipes down conference tables, listens. On the 63rd floor, 2 men in suits are arguing. Virex is done, one says. Nyx stripped his accounts, his contacts, everything. He's still breathing, the other replies. That's a mistake. She's making a point. He's more useful alive. Shows what happens when you cross her. They walk away. Rowan keeps cleaning. On the 67th floor, she passes a woman on her phone. I don't care what the lawyers say. Nyx wants blood, literal blood. She's setting an example. Rowan's hands tighten on the cleaning spray. The elevator dings. Rowan turns. Nyx Calder steps out. She's wearing a black suit, hair pulled back, no expression. Her presence changes the air. Every alpha in the vicinity straightens, goes quiet, watches. Rowan ducks her head, keeps moving. Nyx walks past without looking. Rowan exhales. She finishes the hallway, moves to the next floor. The penthouse levels, private residences. She's not supposed to be here. Her clearance doesn't go this high, but the elevator took her up, and nobody stopped her. She pushes the cart slowly, cautiously. A door opens ahead. Kadea runs out. She's wearing clean clothes. Her hair is brushed. The wound on her ribs is properly bandaged. She looks healthy, safe. She's chasing a ball, laughing. Rowan's chest tightens. Kadea doesn't see her. She's focused on the game. An older woman, probably a nanny, follows her out, smiling, patient. Kadea, slow down, the woman says gently. Kadea ignores her, runs faster. The ball rolls toward Rowan's cart. Kadea follows. She stops 3 feet away, bends down, picks up the ball, then she looks up. Her eyes meet Rowan's. Everything stops. Kadea's face changes, recognition, shock, joy. Rowan, she whispers. Rowan's heart hammers. She shakes her head slightly, a warning, but Kadea doesn't understand warnings. She drops the ball, runs forward, throws her arms around Rowan's waist. You're here, Kadea sobs. You're really here. Rowan freezes. The nanny is staring. Other doors are opening. Voices murmur. Rowan crouches down, wraps her arms around Kadea, holds her tight. I'm here, she whispers. I'm okay. I thought you were dead. Uncle Virex said, I know. But I'm not. I'm right here. Kadea pulls back. Her face is wet. Don't leave. Please don't leave again. I won't. Promise? I promise. The elevator dings. Nyx steps out. Her eyes land on Kadea, then on Rowan. The hallway goes silent. Nyx walks forward, slow, controlled. Her hand rests on her hip, on the holster that's always there. She stops in front of them. Kadea doesn't let go of Rowan. Nyx looks down at her daughter. Kadea, step back. No, Kadea says. Kadea, she saved me. She didn't hurt me. She kept me safe. Nyx's jaw tightens. She looks at Rowan, really looks, at the bruises, the limp, the exhaustion. Who are you? She asks quietly. Nobody, Rowan says. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have. Nyx's eyes narrow. You're the one from the warehouse. Rowan doesn't respond. The Omega my brother tried to kill. Still nothing. Nyx crouches down, meets Kadea's eyes. Is this the woman who found you? Kadea nods. The one who took care of you. Another nod. And you trust her? Yes. Nyx stands, looks at Rowan again. Come with me. It's not a request. Rowan follows. They walk to a private office at the end of the hall. Nyx closes the door, gestures to a chair. Rowan sits. Nyx doesn't. She stands by the window, arms crossed, silent. Finally she speaks. "My daughter hasn't spoken in 3 days," she says. "Not to me, not to doctors, not to anyone. She screamed when I tried to touch her, flinched when I got too close. The therapist said it was trauma, that she needed time." She turns, looks at Rowan. "But the second she saw you, she smiled." Rowan doesn't know what to say. "Tell me what happened," Nyx says. "Everything. From the beginning." So Rowan does. The alley, the dumpster, the fever, the tracking scar, Virex's men, the warehouse. She leaves nothing out. When she finishes, Nyx is silent for a long time. Then she walks to her desk, opens a drawer, pulls out a checkbook. "How much do you want?" she asks. Rowan blinks. "What?" "For saving my daughter. Name your price." "I don't want money." Nyx's pen hovers over the paper. "Everyone wants money." "Not me." "Then what do you want?" Rowan hesitates, then says, "I want to see her, sometimes. Not all the time, just sometimes. To know she's okay." Nyx stares at her. "That's it?" "That's it." Nyx sets down the pen. "You risked your life for my daughter. You have nothing, no home, no documentation, no protection. And all you want is to see her sometimes." "Yes." "Why?" "Because she called me Mama," Rowan says quietly, "and I didn't correct her, and now I can't stop thinking about it." Nyx's expression shifts, just slightly. She walks to the door, opens it, calls out, "Cadea!" The girl appears instantly, like she was waiting. "Do you want Rowan to stay?" Nyx asks. Cadea's eyes go wide. "Can she?" "If she wants to." Cadea looks at Rowan, hopeful, terrified. Rowan nods. Cadea runs to her, hugs her again. Nyx watches them. Something unreadable in her eyes. "You'll stay here," she says, "in the building. You'll have a room, security clearance, whatever you need." "I don't need. It's not a request. You saved my daughter. That makes you untouchable, and it makes you mine." The word hangs in the air. Mine. Rowan doesn't argue. Outside, the sun sets over Chicago. The city lights up, beautiful and deadly, and in the hallway footsteps approach, heavy, familiar. The door bursts open. Virex stands there, bloody, wild-eyed, holding a gun. "You took everything from me," he says, looking at Nyx, then at Rowan. "Now I take everything from you." When a desperate man has nothing left to lose, who survives? And who becomes collateral damage? Nyx moves first. She shoves Cadea behind her, puts herself between the child and the gun. Virex's hand shakes. Blood drips from a wound on his shoulder. His suit is torn. His face is pale. "You ruined me," he says. His voice cracks. "My accounts, my reputation, everything." "You did that yourself," Nyx replies. Her voice is calm, deadly calm. "When you touched my daughter—" "She's not even yours," Virex shouts. "You adopted her. And you bought her like you buy everything. She's nothing. A prop. Something to make you look human." Cadea flinches. Nyx's expression doesn't change, but her hand moves toward her holster. "Put the gun down," she says quietly. "Or what? You'll kill me?" "You already did. I'm dead. Finished. So what's stopping me from taking you with me? Because if you pull that trigger, you won't make it out of this building." "I'm not planning to." He aims at Cadea. Rowan moves without thinking. Steps in front of the child. Arms spread. Virex's eyes lock on her. "You. This is your fault. If you'd just died like you were supposed to." "But I didn't," Rowan says. Her voice is steady, and neither did she. "Move." "No." "I'll shoot through you." "Then do it." Virex's finger tightens on the trigger. The gunshot is deafening, but Virex doesn't fire. Nyx does. Virex drops. The gun clatters across the floor. He's clutching his leg, screaming. Nyx walks forward, kicks the gun away, stands over him. "You're right," she says quietly. "You are finished." She pulls out her phone, makes a call. "Security, penthouse level, bring medical and restraints." She hangs up, looks at Rowan. "You okay?" Rowan nods. Her hands are shaking, but she's okay. Kadea is crying. Rowan turns, crouches down, pulls the child into her arms. "It's over," she whispers. "He can't hurt you anymore." Kadea's sobs are muffled against her shoulder. Security arrives. 6 men. They surround Virex, cuff him, drag him out. He's still screaming. "This isn't over. You think you won? You think—" The elevator doors close. His voice cuts off. Silence fills the room. Nyx holsters her weapon, looks at Rowan and Kadea. Are the two of them holding each other? "She trusts you," Nyx says. Rowan doesn't know how to respond. "More than she trusts me." "She's your daughter," Rowan says. "She loves you. But she feels safe with you." Nyx's voice is neutral, but there's something underneath, something raw. Kadea pulls back, looks up at Nyx. "Mama!" Nyx's expression softens, just for a second. She kneels down, eye level with Kadea. "I'm sorry," she says. "I should have protected you. I should have seen what he was doing." "You didn't know," Kadea whispers. "I should have." Kadea reaches out, touches Nyx's hand. "But you found me. You came." "I'll always come." Kadea throws her arms around Nyx's neck. Nyx holds her, tight, like she's afraid to let go. Rowan stands, steps back, giving them space. But Kadea reaches out, grabs Rowan's hand, pulls her closer. "Both of you," she says. "I want both of you." Nyx looks at Rowan. Something shifts in her eyes. "She's right," Nyx says. "You saved her life. That's a debt I can't repay." "I don't want repayment." "Then what do you want?" Rowan looks at Kadea, at the child who called her mama, who trusted her when she had no reason to. "I want her to be safe," Rowan says. "That's all." Nyx stands. "Then stay. Help me keep her safe." "I'm nobody. I can't—" "You're the person she trusts most in this world. That makes you somebody." Rowan doesn't know what to say. Nyx extends her hand. "Stay. Not as an employee, as family." The word hits like a punch. Family. Rowan stares at the offered hand, then takes it. When enemies become allies and strangers become family, what happens when the bond becomes something more? The city watches Virex fall. Not in private, not quietly, publicly. Nyx doesn't kill him. That would be too easy, too fast. Instead, she destroys him, piece by piece. The financial crimes are leaked to federal investigators, his offshore accounts, the bribes, the laundered money. Everything he built over 20 years collapses in 72 hours. The media picks it up. Headlines scream betrayal, fraud, attempted murder of a child. Virex's face is everywhere, not as a power player, as a criminal. The syndicate cuts ties. Publicly, officially. His name is stripped from every contract, every property, every record. In Omegaverse law, that's a death sentence, worse than death, because he's still breathing, still conscious, still watching everything he built turn to ash. Rowan watches the news from Nyx's penthouse. Kadea is asleep in the next room, safe, protected. The reporter on screen is interviewing someone from the Syndicate Council. "Nyx Calder has been formally disowned," the council member says. "He is no longer recognized as PAC, no longer protected. As of today, he is nothing." The screen cuts to footage of Nyx being led into a federal courthouse. Handcuffed, suit rumpled, face hollow. He looks broken. Rowan turns off the TV. Nyx is standing by the window, watching the city. She hasn't said much since the press conference, since the council vote, since everything fell into place. Do you feel better? Rowan asks. Nyx doesn't turn around. No. Why not? Because he hurt my daughter, and no amount of justice changes that. Rowan walks over, stands beside her. But he can't hurt her again. That's something. It's not enough. It never is. Nyx finally looks at her. You should hate me. Rowan frowns. Why? Because I'm the reason you almost died. My family, my mess. You got caught in it. I chose to get caught in it. You shouldn't have had to choose. Rowan shrugs. Maybe not, but I did. And I'd do it again. Nyx's eyes search her face. Why? Because she needed someone, and I was there. That's not a reason. That's an excuse. Maybe. But it's mine. Nyx's expression softens, just barely. You're different. Different how? You don't want anything. Money, power, access. You just want her to be safe. Is that so strange? In my world, yes. They stand in silence. The city lights stretch out below them, endless. I offered you a job, Nyx says. Legal guardian, co-parent, whatever you want to call it. I know, but you haven't said yes. Rowan looks down. I'm not qualified. I'm nobody. I don't know how to raise a child, especially an alpha child. I don't. You kept her alive when I couldn't. You made her feel safe when I couldn't. You're the most qualified person I know. Rowan's throat tightens. I'm not asking you to replace me, Nyx continues. I'm asking you to help me, because I can't do this alone. You're Nyx Calder. You run an entire syndicate. You can do anything. Except this. Nyx's voice cracks. Just slightly. She flinches when I touch her. She cries when I leave the room. She thinks I gave her away, and I don't know how to fix it. Rowan sees it then. The cracks beneath the armor. The fear hiding behind the control. She doesn't think that, Rowan says gently. She's just scared. Of me. Of losing you again. Nyx closes her eyes. I don't know how to be what she needs. Then we figure it out together. Nyx opens her eyes, looks at Rowan, really looks. You mean that? Yes. Even though it means staying here, in this life, in this world? Even though... Nyx's shoulders relax, just a fraction. Thank you, she says quietly. Rowan nods. They stand together, not touching, but close. And for the first time in days, the silence feels safe. When justice is served but wounds remain, can two broken people heal the child they both love? 3 months later, Rowan's body starts changing. It's subtle at first, a shift in scent, a warmth that lingers. Kadea notices first. You smell different, she says one morning. She's sitting at the breakfast table, colouring. Rowan is making toast. Different how? Rowan asks. Kadea tilts her head. Sweeter. I like Mama! Rowan's hand freezes. Nyx looks up from her coffee. Her eyes narrow. Sweeter, she repeats. Kadea nods. Yeah, before you smelled like rain. Now you smell like... She scrunches her nose, thinking. Like when the flowers bloom. Mama smells like that. Rowan's chest tightens. Nyx stands, walks over, stops close, too close. She breathes in. Her expression changes. You need to see a doctor, she says. I'm fine. You're not fine. Your scent is shifting. That's not normal. Maybe I'm just... It's a bond trigger. Nyx's voice is flat, final. You're responding to proximity, to pack dynamics, to... She stops, looks away. To what? Rowan asks. To me. The words hang in the air. Kadea keeps colouring, oblivious. Rowan takes a step back. That's not possible. We're not... It doesn't matter what we are. It matters what your body thinks we are. So what do? You leave. Before it gets worse. The words hit like a slap. Leave, Rowan repeats. It's the only way to stop it. Distance, separation. If you stay, the bond will complete. And once it completes... What? Nyx's jaw tightens. You'll be mine, permanently, biologically. You won't have a choice. Rowan's hands clench. I'm not leaving Kadia. Then you're choosing this, knowing what it means. I'm choosing her. That's different. It's not. Yes, it is. Nyx turns away, runs a hand through her hair. You don't understand. A bond like this, it's not just emotional. It's physical, chemical. You'll need me, crave me. And I... She stops. And you what? Nyx doesn't answer. Rowan walks around, forces Nyx to look at her. And you what? I'll want you, Nyx says quietly. And in ways I can't control. In ways that will make this complicated. It's already complicated. Not like this. Rowan stares at her, at the woman who saved her life, who gave her a home, who trusted her with the most important thing in her world. I'm not leaving, Rowan says. You should. But I won't. Nyx's eyes search hers. Why? Because she needs me. And maybe, Rowan hesitates, maybe I need her too. And me? Nyx asks. Her voice is barely a whisper. Do you need me? Rowan's breath catches. The question is too big, too dangerous, but the answer is already there. Yes, she says. Nyx's eyes darken. She takes a step closer, then another. They're inches apart now. Kadia's voice breaks the moment. Can we go to the park today? Nyx steps back, clears her throat. Sure, after lunch. Kadia cheers, goes back to colouring. Nyx looks at Rowan one more time. This isn't over. I know. The bond will keep growing, changing you, changing us. I know. And when it completes, I'll deal with it then. Nyx's lips twitch, almost a smile. You're stubborn. So are you. That's why this is going to be a disaster. Probably. They stare at each other. The air between them is charged. Electric. Kadia looks up. Are you guys fighting? No, they say in unison. Kadia grins. Good, because I like it when you're both here. It feels like home. Rowan's chest aches. Home. She's never had that before. Nyx reaches out, touches Rowan's hand. Just for a second. Stay, she says quietly. Whatever happens, just stay. Rowan nods, because she's not going anywhere. Not now, not ever. Outside, the city keeps moving. The syndicate keeps running. The world keeps turning. But inside this penthouse, 3 people are building something new, something fragile, something dangerous, something worth protecting. And the bond between them, unspoken, unfinished, undeniable, is just beginning to burn. Some bonds aren't chosen, they're triggered. And once they start, there's no going back. The war isn't over, the danger hasn't passed. And Rowan's scent keeps changing. What happens when biology demands what the heart isn't ready to give? When protection becomes obsession? When family becomes something more? Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter of this story, because what comes next will change everything. Drop a comment below and tell us, would you stay or would you run? Your thoughts inspire us and help others navigate their own impossible choices. This is just the beginning.